but you do need to speak
Yeah.
with somebody, right? Like
Yeah.
even like I can be going through something and maybe I want to talk to Ricky, right? But Ricky don't weigh what I'm going through the same as me or whatever, because that's the thing. Like we are human, but we operate differently, and emotionally things weigh on us differently. So what I'm thinking is weighing me down is a heavy burden. Ricky could be listening to me and like he's being a good friend to me and taking it in and providing me advice, but he can also on the back end, and it's nothing against him. It's just how that's just how he's operating or whatever. He like, man, this ain't nothing. Like I went through that 2 years ago or whatever, and I took that to the chin and kept going. But every human is different. You know what I mean? Like, but I do believe like he should play a part in being a vessel and sitting there listening. And he sometimes you find yourself when you talking to somebody, and I do it all the time or whatever. I come to my own conclusion, and I have an aha moment. Like, okay, you know what I mean? But I still
Yeah.
credit him and God for giving me the answer because I still had to kind of put in the work.
Right.
I hear all the time or whatever from people that participate in like a lot of therapy and stuff like that or whatever. And they say if you continuously going to therapy like over a year and 2 years and you're not seeing change, it's probably because you're not doing the work that's required along with therapy. Because therapy is just like a vessel. You know what I mean? Therapy is your same thing as writing it down or whatever, like or whatever. That is your physical book you're speaking into or whatever. But if your actions are not being represented on the outside, then you just coming in and just like doing the same thing over. You expressing that same cycle of problems because you're not making the changes on the outside. So I do agree, like you do need to speak with somebody. But at the same time, you're gonna have to work your own way through it. So
Man, Jonathan said something interesting about writing it down. I was like, man, where is he going with this? But I wanted to see. And one of my favorite persons to listen to is Abraham Hicks. Abraham Hicks, and she always mentions like follow the synchronicities, and that's what Jonathan was referring to by like basically you have a thought, and then that thought creates something, and then that creation comes from like a sign or a signal from the universe. And one of her favorite things to say is like, if you flustered or frustrated, stop because nothing good is gonna come from it, versus working yourself in the ground, try to take inspired action. But she said something that was, I started doing this year. She's like, you get stuck and you got nowhere to go to sleep. I was like, I got all this stuff to do. What the hell I'm gonna go to sleep for? It's like, just go to sleep. Because you can't do anything other than be where you at, and where you at is where you at. You can't go forward. Go to sleep. So I go to sleep, wake up, the answer comes to me. I say, ain't this about it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
literally you get
That's
the answer for yourself.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, what they say, um, you can rate it, you can communicate it to me, but you can't feel the way I feel. You can't see it the way I see it. Like what they say,
Mhm.
what they say, the young man coming in the army asked the vet, man, how's war? How is it? How's in the war? I say, listen, I can tell you about the war all day, but until you get in the battlefield, I can
Yeah.
explain to you, I can tell you what you're gonna see, but until you see it for yourself,
yeah.
then you come back to me. When you see it for yourself, then you come back. I mean, the
And
experience
just
is the best professor of all
listen,
time.
listen to what y'all saying. I agree with everything, but I think the most important person to listen to is your best friend, and the best listener is the God. And I'm learning that.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I'm learning right now. That's number
Mm-hmm.
one. I know writing it
Mm-hmm.
down and
Mm.
all that thing, but as men don't understand that you can go and actually talk to the man upstairs. And
That's
we
Mm-hmm.
kind
right.
of scared of that. We kind of scared of just going and talk in the closet by ourselves. But you can. That's the best listener. So I'm not trying to preach, but I feel that's the best listener. That's the best person you can talk to. And then you can work through it by yourself.
Yeah, and
So
I think
I'm
lacking in
kind of,
that.
that's where I'm at too.
I think
yeah.
lacking in that spiritual area could be contributing to some of the stress we putting on ourselves because we trying to weigh it. We trying to take care of everything ourselves. When you know what I mean, like God's like telling you, like, "Hey, I got this, but you need to trust in me on this journey,
Trust it.
or whatever."
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
we
Right.
get lost in that aspect of it or whatever. So
Yeah, I
Correct.
agree with DJ on that one. I be at work talking to the man. I like all day long. I know they probably be passing me by. I got my eyes closed, lips moving. I don't care. That's just what it is. I got to talk to
Right.
them all day, every day, man.
He always gonna be there to listen, man.
Right.
Hey DJ, they be like, he about to snap. He eyes closed. He
Eyes
he
closed.
about
I
to
hope he
black
ain't
out.
got. Right, right. No,
He about to
I'm
black
But what's
out.
going on?
I'm in good hands. I'll be all right.
Because if I'm not in good hands, you ain't about to be in good hands.
You're right.
Yeah.
Trust me, it's gonna benefit both of us.
Right.
Yeah, it's gonna keep me from catching the case and keep you from going to the emergency room.
Right. Either have me in good hands, or you'll be about to be in bad hands.
Yeah. So we both need prayer right now.
Right, for real.
All right, so we kind of touched on it a little bit already, but do you think women respect a man that expresses his emotions to her?
Yes, I do. We don't see it as we do. We don't think they do. We think, oh no, we showing this. They ain't gonna like us. They ain't gonna care about us. But they respect you a lot more when you show that emotion. You go out there and you can speak to them. You talk to them. You let them know what's going on. They definitely respect you a lot more. But we're not
I
taught
agree.
that. We're not taught that
I
at
agree
all.
with DJ on that one to a certain extent. To me, my opinion is I feel like that comes down to the character of the individual as far as the woman.
Correct.
Because I've come across some women that do respect you when you open up more with your emotion side like that. But also I've come across some who's like, oh shit, he's soft. He's softer than cotton. He weak. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I agree with DJ, but on the other end, it comes down to the character of the individual, of the woman you're dealing with too. Because I got a friend who was going through some tough times with family health issues. He confided into this woman that he was talking to at the time frame, and he shedded a few tears because it was hard on him, and sure enough, yeah, basically made the man feel like he was a pussy or something.
But if a woman, my bad, I don't mean to jump in.
No, you good, DJ. Go ahead.
Yeah. If a woman feel that's her character. You shouldn't be that type of person. Being around that type of person. That's
Yeah.
to me. That's like simple minded. That's a simple minded person. Cause
and and that's what he had to
you're not a
figure
pussy
out.
for showing your emotions. You can show your emotions
Right.
anywhere. Man, you could be the strongest man in the world. Just showing your emotions don't make you a pussy.
Correct. That's like you said, a simple-minded individual like that. This is why I say it comes down to the character.
But do you think it's her fault?
Mm-hmm.
Do I think it's her fault?
It too. I just sometimes when you telling a woman about your situation, are you crying? Are you complaining? Like how many times? Like my partners don't ever call me complaining. I mean, that, for real, like I just ain't nobody ever called me and was like, "Hey, I'm stuck. I got a problem." Like with a complaining, like I would never complain to a woman. What's she go? If you supposed to be the leader, so you can display your emotions and tell her, explain to her how you feel, but I wouldn't cry to her or ask, like confide in her as far as, can you guide me? I'm thinking about this, do I need to adjust or something? You can ask like that, but are you complaining? How displaying your emotions when you say it and release it?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say crying. Emotion.
I wouldn't
showing
say
emotions,
it was
not
more
crying.
on the complaining part though. Far as him.
No, I'm just talking in general. I don't know the man's situation.
We stand in general. We stand in general.
Yeah. For me, I would say, man, like, do what got you here. And, it was like, hey, he's gonna go again. But like the system, man, is would you do those things would you do those things on a first date? That's what got you here. That's what she was like, it's something about this man. He's different. The mystique of this guy. I like it. I'm going to entertain this. Would you cry in front of your business partner? And that's exactly what you do. You building a partnership. That's why people be in a relationship, whether male on male or female and female or female and male. It's like, I like this transaction of energy. So I'm going to continue further. I think everybody is a reflection of us pushed out. So what you're actually receiving is not the world needs to change. It's the man in the mirror. That's what Michael Jackson said. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. But I honestly do believe that there is a time and a place for everything. I think, 1 or 2 minutes out of the year, for displaying your emotion when you never had before, you can't get penalized for that. And if the
Hello.
person does penalize you, then that's a problem with them, not with you. But at the same time, you do what got you here. If you was oozing charisma and she valued
Mm-hmm.
your looks and your work ethic,
Right.
and you were self-sustaining and self-reliant and self-efficient, then that's who you maintain to be. But if you have a mental breakdown, which we all do as human beings, then no sweat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Correct.
That's it. That's it.
Nicely put. Nicely put.
Yeah, y'all speaking facts. Anybody else
Yeah.
want to touch on it?
I think emotional intelligence is important as well. I can just go back to feeling the way I feel, and I can. My first cousin, Lord forbid, my first cousin can die, and I'll be boohooing, crying, or however if I feel. And she'll be like, "How could you? Man, how did you feel? How could you cry?" Up until you feel that pain, it's like, "Oh, I see why." And if I Superman you or walk past you and give you no consoling emotional point, oh, he's an asshole. He's so and so
Yeah.
so and so. He's this and that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like you. When it comes to my business and me, you don't want me to show emotion, but empathy towards you when you go through something like that. So it's kind of like back to the balance, back to the balance of it. Like it's let me turn it on and off. Let me console. Let me be empathetic to what you got going. But then, okay, after that, let's find a solution. Let's find a breakthrough. This, the life gets back to life goes on. Yes, we know that, but it's not gonna come. Okay, tomorrow I'm good. Like it's gonna be a slow ass process, but you got to give me that room and that range to be a human. Like I'm not a Terminator. The Terminator, my favorite movie. I'm not Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm not. No, the shit not bouncing off me. Bullets is gonna knock me down. I'm going to. Hey, take me to Memorial Herman. You know what I'm saying? But you just got to give me that space to be a human. Like, and if not, move your funky ass to the side. I'm sorry, Abby. I'm sorry, but when you say what you want to say, but move your funky ass to the
Correct.
side, you can't say that.
Know when
Shit.
to hold them. Know when to fold them.
Hey, and I got a full house, nigga.
Yeah. Know when to walk away. Know when to run. God damn it.
Shut the
Shit.
fuck up.
It's a good song.
Hey,
That's a
hey,
good
hey,
song.
hey, you wanna talk some real shit at 7 a.m. on a Sunday? You called the
Yes,
right man.
sir.
You called the right man.
That's why we're here. That's why we're here.
You got the right one, baby.
Mm-hmm.
So, do men hide their pain in their work? And is that okay?
It's fuel. It's fuel though.
Take me down that rabbit hole when you say fuel.
Um. It's what they say, emotional hardship, or just like going through a tough time in general. Like what they say, what the best ball players from what New York, Chicago, this and that. What single mother home, got to open up the stove to goddamn have the whole house heated. Like that emotional hardship is like it's fuel. It's like I got to. You know what I'm saying? You put pressure on yourself, but you say, "Man, I've got to do this." Like that. Man, it's powerful, man. When you're back against the wall and
Yeah.
it's like nowhere to go. I was telling Ricky that earlier. He's like, bro, you shouldn't always come back. I call myself a comeback kid, man. I don't know why. It's always been that way, man. When my back against the wall, they feel like they whip me off. Like, oh, he ain't gonna do shit. That's when I rise like Superman. I don't know why I've always been that way. Like I used to tell them like progress reports. I used to have 40s and 30s. I say, bro, watch me get an 80 and 90 in this class 6 weeks. Like I don't know why this shit don't excite me until my back against the wall. I don't know why. I'm not back against the wall now, but per usual, the comeback is in. I don't know. It's just something that fuels. It's fuel for me. That's just me, of course. But you know,
I'm gonna take a
mhm.
different approach. For me, like I've learned, like Chris has been with me through most of my life. So like this man has literally seen me stay up 18 hours and do a work assignment that's due at 9 a.m. the next morning. Like you can't
Iron
like, oh,
Man
I
Part
got to
Five.
at 1. But I've learned like I rather work from a sense of inspiration or empowerment versus anger and motivation, because I feel like I can get 2 weeks worth of work done in 3 hours while being inspired. Like if a company that I aspire to be just went public or they raised like 300 million and I'm trying to raise my first million. It's like, I remember those dudes that had a meeting with me. I can do that versus, man, our light's gonna be cut off. Like, obviously, you're gonna have to do something about that. But it's like,
Yeah.
what can I do right now? Like, what can I do right now? And sure, like every human being, like in a sense of desperation and anger, they have one key card or a trump card, which is focus. You're gonna always focus when your back's against the wall. But I feel like for me, I think the best momentum that you can have is when you take inspired action. So I'd rather be and come from a place of inspired action versus motivation because I feel like it's God given, is universally sound, and it was given to me to do something with versus this is all me. I'm gonna push a heroic effort because I'm human and look at me doing what humans do and I'm unstoppable versus taking inspired action.
Work to the booty squirt.
A wise word from a wise man.
Exactly.
Listen,
real
say
simple.
live by
Rest in peace, PMC.
hey. What do you say? What kids say? Words to live by.
Well, live by them, son.
The heavens dropped this one on me when Chris said emotional intelligence. I'm gonna say it one more time. Emotional intelligence. You need to deal with your emotions intelligently.
Mm-hmm.
So, as Ricky was saying, if you get inspired by a heartbreak or sadness, those are emotions. So control where you send in that emotional and all that power. So when you talk about hiding it in your work, now you're not hiding it in your work. You directing it into your work. You releasing it. That is your
channel.
Correct.
Channel it.
So that's if people want to call it hiding, that's what you hide. That's where you hide your emotions. You just using it in a positive way, which it always should be used in a positive way, no matter how you feel: happy, sad, angry, upset, jealous, anxiety. It all should be always directed in a positive way. And when it's not directed in a positive way, you are viewed as weak.
That makes sense.
I drop in nuggets.
I
That
agree.
makes
I
sense.
agree.
It all adds up.
Yeah,
I agree with releasing it. Working more like releasing that pain. You go, I don't hide it in my work. I don't know. More of like releasing it when I'm working.
So
So if I'm going to work out, that's releasing my pain. Something.
working out, that's a release.
So look, but wait, let's deep dive. I'm glad you said that. So working out, but it depends on the type of working out, right? So the objective is to release stress. If you lifting weights, what are you doing to your body when you lift the weight?
Stressing it.
You're stressing the body. So that's why I say that. Like, it's how you work out or whatever, because it's like this is science or whatever. You can look this stuff up or whatever. So if you're going through something, technically you should be doing something like maybe like some light cardio or something like that or whatever. Because initially you really just like adding on to your body or whatever if you putting your body through stress action.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I'm just letting it out. I'm letting it all out. I'm taking it out on the weight.
DJ probably be in there getting all the girl.
Right.
Aggressive with it. Yeah.
I'm in there trying to do like Ricky, put 245s on each side.
Right. Trying to pump it on out.
I did not come to play.
Get this work in.
I'm trying to take some frustration out when I'm
Right.
man.
Yeah, that's like me and my line of work as a technician. It's kind of like you have your days where you just got this car that's just whooping your ass. And then it's kind of like, I mean, shit, I can't beat the car up. That goes to what Jonathan said, learn how to control your emotions. So, you know what? I'm going to go to lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Go to lunch, chill, calm down, give me some food. I get back to work. Bing, light bulb pop on. Okay, I got it now.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm finna run through it. I'm finna knock this car out. It wasn't that bad after all. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just gotta, you gotta relax a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So
So how do you release your how do you release then Mr. Avery Webster? I mean like how do you
So,
release if everything that you're doing is putting more stress on the body?
I said weightlifting is putting more stress on the body. That's what you do to grow your muscles. You have to stress the body. So it's different things or whatever. We overlook the small things. So like going for walks. For me,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a reader. I like to read. You know what I mean? Like it could be relaxing. DJ just said like he walked off, right? And he went to go eat lunch or whatever, like and separating himself from that setting
Mhm.
that put that stress on him. It's like initially what you want to look to or whatever, like small meditations. Like we underestimate the power in taking 5 minutes out of the day to actually meditate, whatever that looks like for you. Meditation, prayer, you know what I mean? Like it's those small actions that makes the difference within your day. You were talking about writing in a journal. The journal writing don't have to just take place in the comfort of your home. You can buy little small journals that you can keep in your pocket there or whatever. And that same technique can apply wherever you at or whatever. So I just don't want us to get caught up in thinking that going from man, I'm pissed off right now, or whatever. I'm gonna go
Right.
200 pounds of weight or whatever. When in actuality, I'm not saying like I'm not gonna argue with you. I'm just saying from a science perspective, you putting more body or whatever. Like you know what I mean? Like you putting yourself through more stress or whatever. So if you leave out of there and be like, damn, like my shoulders hurt, like my stomach kind of hurt a little bit. Well, your body's stressed already or whatever, and you went in there and just added on to the physical stress. So it's multiple avenues. Like I've got like I'm into like cigars and stuff like that and trying different types of coffees. It's other ways to kind of release. Like you just have to kind of find what works for you. But taking into consideration, like if you're doing something, if your stress levels are really high, you shouldn't be putting yourself in a position to do something that's super stressful. And I'm not saying don't go to the gym, but maybe that day you need to just go to the gym and just ride the bike a little bit and put your headphones on and listen to an audio book or listen to your favorite soundtrack or something like that or whatever. Because the idea is you're trying to lower your stress levels, not increase them.
Mm-hmm.
True.
I like that.
I feel what you're saying.
Jonathan, you still gonna go to the gym and put 400 pounds on?
It's like I heard that, but forget
I,
that.
hey, is my best friend. I take care of the God when I write it on paper. So that's how I release my stress. Sit down, close my eyes, sit in my little favorite chair. That's what meditate looks like to me. Close my eyes and just, sit there and think about absolute.
Man.
How this man keep work smiling all the time because I don't have no pressure on me. Like I think life is a party. Every day I wake up excited and plan about every little thing. I'd be like, "Hey man, get away from me with that." Yeah, I just try to walk away from that.
Yeah, I think you told me this one time, Jonathan. I got it from somebody, but she was like, "Life is simple." Like I think just over time because we don't follow the natural ways of life or whatever. We make life hard on ourselves most of the time or whatever. Like, but life is actually simple.
Yeah, I mean, look, we on a podcast talking amongst brothers. Like, this is exciting.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
Needed this platform. Yeah, this is a release. You can come here and talk to yourself. This may help you out through the week.
Yeah,
I can't speak for everybody, but this helped.
Hey, it helped me.
This highlight for me.
Now, real life, like I be forgetting this whole be recorded or bullshit. Like until Avery posted later on this week. So girl talk, I'm like, this shit was recorded.
Honestly, that's what I want. Like I don't want the like stage talk, right? So like I want it to be raw. Like I want it.
Yeah, of course not.
Sitting in the garage, like I want people to experience us as we are, right? So like everybody has their own personality. Everybody's different. Like I want everybody to experience us as we are. Like
of course not.
Didn't feel fake.
So. True.
Wise man once told me, "Don't fight the current of the river. You flow with it."
Yeah.
Man,
so I got boy. I had to start, putting that as far as like life. Like, okay, well, he's saying something. It's real simple. It's real simple. It's not complicated. It's real simple. Don't fight it. Why fight it?
I ain't gonna lie, I'm about to take collection plate on that one. That was
Right.
I'm about to take
Hey,
collection plate.
and on
That's collection plate on that
and on that one, I'm gonna stop the recording there or whatever. This man done dropped the
one.
name.